Everyone has heard 20% down, 20% down. That's what you need to have prepared to buy a home. But I will tell you that that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm Melissa Sophia, the founder of the Avenue Home Collective, and today we're debunking 5 home buying and selling myths. The first myth that I hear all the time is that summer is the best time to sell your house. Not true at all. This is so false, especially for San Diego. Right here, historically, the best time to sell your home has been February through May. During the early spring, people are financially healthy. They have done their taxes. They have just gotten through all of the holidays. They're ready to work on themselves. They're ready to work on the things that will move their life forward. So they're in a great mental place. Spring break and summer busy season hasn't begun. And this means that the days on market are the shortest possible, creating the best opportunity for you to sell your home for the most money in the shortest amount of time possible. Now, nationally, it could be different. Lean on your hyper-local expert who's going to give you the best advice and be super knowledgeable about where you're selling your home. An experience that I had right here in San Diego is when I had a set of clients insist upon selling in the middle of July. Unfortunately, right before they came on the market, the end of June, the market completely dropped off. There were no buyers out looking. Everybody was out on summer vacation. They were doing all of the fun things that they wanted to squeeze in before the next school year began. And they had to drop their price. They had to take it off the market, relist it. It was tough for them to swallow. So now they trust me when I say this is going to be the best time to sell. I suggest you check out your resources and do the same. Your takeaway here is don't just assume that summer is the best time to sell. Find out when it is for you. Myth number 2, working directly with the listing agent will give you the best opportunity when buying a home. Not when a listing agent signs a contract to sell a home for a seller, what they're doing is signing an agreement that they have a fiduciary responsibility to that seller. This is a legal responsibility to put their finances as a priority. As a buyer, this means that no matter what, they're not going to put your best interests first. Buyer's agents are free. Sellers always pay the buyer's commission for a property, so you don't even need to pay for proper representation. One of the biggest disappointments about this myth is that most buyers think that they're going to have an advantage. They assume that the listing agent is going to pass on the savings to them, that they're not going to pocket that double commission, or that they're going to put the buyer's financial needs above their seller or the extra money that they can make as an agent. Fortunately for most agents, it's just not true. And you just may be losing out on proper representation. Sometimes you don't know the personal relationship that the seller has with that listing agent or where you're losing out. There are multiple times when a seller's agent and a buyer's agent negotiate and it can cost a buyer money. These times are during the initial offer, also during the appraisal, also during the request for repairs. Throughout the entire transaction, a buyer's agent is negotiating on your behalf. Time and time again, you could be losing out on actual dollar bills if your agent is not representing you to the max. So make sure not to lose out just because you think it's going to give you the best opportunity to buy a home. This year, I came across a buyer who had this experience exactly. They were very knowledgeable about sales from another industry, and with that kind of background, they presumed that they would have no problem negotiating directly with a listing agent and a seller. Unfortunately, when they went to go see a property, the listing agent scheduled for a junior agent on their team to meet them there. And when these buyers fell in love, called the listing agent and said, "We wanted to write an offer." The listing agent said, "Sorry, we will not entertain an offer from anyone from you except for the junior agent who showed the property." This put them in a really tough spot because what they did was they had to commit to working with an agent who was in no way prepared to negotiate against their boss, a highly skilled and masterful negotiator. This put a really bad taste in their mouth. And after that experience, they no longer wanted to sell another listing they had with that agent. They did end up buying that property with the junior agent, losing out on negotiation after negotiation. And in the end, I was so happy to help them sell their home and make it right. And on the bright side, even though they lost out in the negotiations on their purchase with that other agent, with the sale of their home and my team, we were able to get them over $300,000 more than they expected to sell their home for. The key takeaway here is don't always assume that it's best to work with the listing agent directly. Make sure that you're working with someone with integrity, transparency, and who has your back. Myth number 3, in a hot market, it doesn't matter who sells your home. False. In a hot market with tons of buyers and low inventory, many people assume that it's easy to sell for the most money possible, whether they are selling for sale by owner or using a discount broker or even selling with an inexperienced friend or relative. This could not be more untrue. In fact, when you are negotiating with multiple buyers, this is the time that you need the most experience. It takes a really keen eye to weed through all of those offers and find who is serious, who really means what they say, and how to negotiate with them. Also, in a market like this where buyers are paying top dollar for their homes, there is a very high rate of cancellation. So it couldn't be more crucial to have an agent by your side that has a very deep understanding of the real estate contract. Unfortunately, many sellers tend to believe that you can save a ton of money working with an agent like this or selling the home yourself. But in my experience, a great agent will make you much more than you could save on that little bit of commission. This year at the Avenue, we came across a horror story from a seller. I'm not going to tell you which discount brokerage it was, but it might rhyme with pillow. These sweet, wonderful sellers were so excited to move on to their next part of their journey. They were retiring, packed up all of their things, purchased a new property in another state, and they were already moved out there into their new home. Just a couple of days before their San Diego home was about to close escrow, the buyer canceled, and that is when they found out that their listing agent hadn't even ensured that the buyer put a deposit down on this escrow. If you're wondering what a deposit is and why it's important, check out our other video on real estate terms. This is such a basic item, but it is so crucial. The key takeaway here is even though the market is hot, it doesn't mean that your sale is going to be a slam dunk. Make sure you work with someone who is reliable, who's experienced, and who knows what they're doing. Myth number 4, I don't have 20% to put down on a home, so I can't buy it. Not true. Everyone has heard 20% down, 20% down. That's what you need to have prepared to buy a home. But I will tell you that that couldn't be further from the truth. There are so many different types of loan programs available to you, and you need to find out what is right for your unique situation. There are FHA loans, VA loans. You can receive gifts from family members. You can do so many different things. You can go 0 down, 3.5% down, 5% down, 10% down. The options are endless, especially right now in a highly competitive lending market. So the best thing for you to do right now is to speak to a professional about all of the different options that are available to you. Let us know in the comments below if you want to hear more about this so that we can make some videos about those different loan options for you. Myth number 5, searching for homes online is the best first step in the home buying process. No way. I'm so sorry to say, but so many buyers are out searching for homes on popular websites, even popping into open houses. This is not the best first step in the process, and I can't even tell you how many times I've seen buyers get brokenhearted when they come to me, they fell in love with a home that they came across online or in person, and by the time they are ready to write an offer, it's already gone. It's pending. It's sold. It was sold to another buyer who had their pre-approval ready to go. Your best first step in the home buying process is to have your realtor connect you to the best lender they know. That way, this lender can walk you through how to make sure all of your financial ducks in a row. They can talk you through the whole process, what your monthly payments are, what your closing costs are, and get you prepared to buy a home for the right price for you. This way, you're not falling in love with properties that are priced over your ability to buy, or falling in love with properties and you could actually afford more. There's so much that you you need to know before you start looking for homes, stopping in open houses, and checking out places online, scheduling appointments to view. So reach out to your best resource for this kind of information, and that's your real estate agent. Your key takeaway here is get pre-approved first. Those were the 5 home buying and selling myths that we debunked today. Did any of these surprise you? Let us know if there's anything that we missed in the comments below, and we're happy to bring them for part 2. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications if you found this helpful so that we can bring you more great real estate info. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.